The heavily forested nation of Bhutan has not made a net zero pledge like a growing number of countries. That's because it is already carbon negative, which means that it is absorbing more climate changing emissions each year than it produces. But how exactly did it get here? Here's a look at the Himalayan kingdom's journey to the carbon negative club.
Countries across the world are debating net zero. It was the rallying call of the COP26 summit. But here's the country that got there first: Bhutan. This Himalayan kingdom is the only carbon negative country in the world. So what does this mean? Bhutan produces 2.2 million tons of carbon dioxide every year. Guess how much it absorbs? Around 6 million tons. So effectively, Bhutan is taking out 4 million tons of greenhouse gases every year, acting as a natural carbon sink and absorbing carbon dioxide. How does the kingdom do this? By putting the environment in its constitution. Bhutan follows what it calls gross national happiness. It has 4 pillars, one of them being sustainable environment. Here's what the constitution says about it. The government shall ensure that in order to conserve the country's natural resources and to prevent degradation of the ecosystem, a minimum of 60% of Bhutan's total land shall be maintained under forest cover at all times. This isn't some cosmetic legal promise. Bhutan actually does have 60% forest cover. What's more, 51% of the country is protected land. No encroachments, no multi-million-dollar projects.
Bhutan, under the policy guidance of our environmental champion monarchs, have demonstrated enough leadership in environment conservation, and our low-emission development policy for climate change and sustainable development goals are committed. Just to set the tone in an example, we are committed to go e-mobility in our transport sector and energy-efficient housing to transform from fossil fuel-run transport and domestic cooking and heating.
Bhutan first made the promise of carbon neutrality in 2009. The world hardly noticed. They said it again in 2016. This time, the world did notice. But little did they know that Bhutan would go beyond neutrality and achieve the tag of carbon negative. This hasn't been a cheap campaign. Bhutan has depended heavily on hydropower. They have subsidized LEDs and moved towards paperless government. The biggest contribution has come from the people. They have adapted to a new lifestyle, one where they are allies of nature. In 2015, the Bhutanese mobilized for a Guinness World Record.
3, 2, 1, go!
They planted 46,672 trees in 1 hour. These trees will grow into Bhutan's lungs. One of the last remaining biodiversity hotspots in the world. South Asia Bureau, WION World is one.
WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.